Well, hello there and welcome back to a brand new video, a brand new rugby video, but this time around, I'm not giving you guys any gameplay. I'm going to be talking about a very big topic in the rugby world right now. It's just crazy because a lot of you have been asking me, Matt, please do a response video, A, because you're a Saracen supporter, but B, what are your thoughts about it? Because everyone is having their ideas, their thoughts, their opinions about the salary cap. Did Saracens breach it? What did Saracens do? Saracens now have like a £5.5 million fine. There was a 35-point deduction. A few weeks ago, Saracens got told this information. Then a few days ago was the last day for Saracens to appeal. Saracens confirmed that they were not appealing and therefore are accepting the £5.5 million fine as well as the 35-point deduction. And it's crazy. It's probably one of the biggest point deductions we've ever seen in any sport, even in football. I mean, the most you might see for teams going administration or doing something silly like financial play or I don't know. But in football, I think the most we've ever seen is maybe like 10 or 13 points. But in rugby, 35 points is a huge amount of points to lose, especially like a team like Saracens who are always dominating up at the top of the Premiership. 35 points. I think someone did say that if Saracens lost 35 points in the last 3 or 4 seasons, they wouldn't be relegated. So they're kind of predicting that this season shouldn't matter. But yeah, no, the tables have definitely turned. I was predicting Saracens, as a Saracens fan, I was hoping that we'd win, the Premiership once again and compete in Europe. But this time around, Premiership is just, we could probably win the most amount of matches compared to any other team, but we'll still end up like 9th or 8th or 7th or anyway, as long as we're not 12th. I don't want to be relegated, but a lot of people out there wish Saracens were relegated. Some people wish that we lost all our titles and all that fun stuff. But anyway, today I'm going to be talking about the statement, what was said, why Saracens, got this fine, the point deduction. Nigel Ray, the Saracens chairman, what he had to say. So Saracens actually released a new press conference or a press release on Monday confirming that we won't be reviewing or appealing this fine and point deduction, and that we will be accepting it. And there was a Q&A as well. So I kind of want to read the Q&A, give you guys some background. I'm sure if you guys have been following rugby for a while, you guys probably have known and seen this already. I had a big debate on Twitter, probably had the most mentions and interactions I've ever had. Within about 36 hours, it was crazy. All I did was reply and was like, hopefully Saracens win this appeal or whatever, and people were going at me going like, oh, Saracens are cheating, blah, 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 and all that fun stuff, and people were bringing Europe into the question and going like, should they lose the Heineken Cup or the Championship Cup titles, when in reality, Europe don't even have a salary cap. I think Ireland do, France have like a 30 million, I think, salary cap. Some places don't even have a salary cap, so it's kind of like, you can't really say Saracens should lose their titles in Europe because every pool or every country involved has their own salary cap, so that's kind of irrelevant. But in the Premiership, a lot of people have been going, oh, Saracens should be removed, or Saracens have an asterisk next to the titles. So it is interesting, but anyway, today we're going to be talking about it, giving you guys my opinions. I want to hear your guys' thoughts. I don't want people to go at me and go, oh, Matt, you're a Saracens fan, your favoritism and all that stuff. I'm just being brutally honest. Like, literally, this video is me giving you my honest opinion. Now, I know this video will bring a lot of interaction in the comment section down below. I really want to hear your thoughts and opinions. I don't really want to hear, bad-mouthing each other, especially if other people in the comments are Saracens fans and you're having a go at each other. Don't do that, guys. Just be, considerate. Yeah, be considerate to myself and the community. If you want to tweet at me or comment at me going, Matt, you support a cheating team, go on, you can do that. But anyone out there who are supporting or watching this video, just be friendly. That's all I ask. Be friendly to each other. Twitter was chaos. People were literally having a go at each other, and I don't want that in our community. I mean, I think we built a solid community where we're all nice, friendly. So I'm happy for a debate, but please don't argue with each other. You're going to argue in a debate way, but don't be offensive. I don't want people to comment and feel like they're going to get abused because they support Saracens, or they should say Saracens should lose their titles. If someone goes, Saracens cheated, they should lose their titles, and you want to debate about it, someone goes, oh no, they shouldn't do because X, Y, and Z. Don't go like, oh, well, Saracens, they're all cheating, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean. Yeah, you guys know what I mean. Anyway, bit of a long intro, but anyway, if you do enjoy today's video, then be sure to massive thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, comment down below your thoughts regarding this. Right, so I have my phone here. I actually have, obviously, when was it? So on the 5th of November, Saracens got the decision. Fine, I think it was like 9 months this independent panel or board were reviewing. And when I first, found out about it, I was saying to my dad, really? Really? And then once everyone knew about that Saracens were being investigated, everyone was like, yes, finally. Just look at their team. They have nearly the full 15 from England in Saracens. It's like, come on, surely there must be a bit dodgy business going along. And yeah, then apparently there was. So yeah, anyway, let's talk about, obviously, 5th of November. Obviously, the official charges from the Premiership Rugby website. We'll then talk about the Saracens press release, which I think there was a press release around about the 5th or the 6th, so we'll review that. And then we'll also review the Q&A, which Nigel Ray, the chairman of Saracens, actually announced on Monday. And Monday's date was... What was Monday? Monday's date was the 18th. So 18th was 2 weeks from the 5th, and that's when they had the duration to... and during that time, Saracens had the option to appeal. But like I said, they didn't. Okay, so from the Premiership Rugby website on the 5th of November, the title of the article is Premiership Rugby Statement Decision on Salary Cap Charges. So it says here that Premiership Rugby can confirm that an independent disciplinary, is that how you pronounce disciplinary? Woo! Yeah. Anyway, you guys know what I'm on about. Anyway, so a panel, we'll just say that. So a panel has reached a decision in respect of charges brought against Saracens Rugby Club for allegedly breaching the Premiership Rugby salary cap. Apparently the charges were relating to seasons in 2016, 2017, 2017, 2018, and 2018 and 2019. For the last 3 seasons, Saracens allegedly were breaking the salary cap. The independent panel had a hearing, which was over a period of 5 days between September and October 2019. Blah, 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 blah. People were just talking about stuff. Then it says here that the decision of the independent panel after the 5 days of discussion said that Saracens Rugby have failed to disclose payments to players in each of the last 3 seasons. In addition to Saracens not disclosing the payments for the last 3 seasons, the panel was given the following charges. So it's not 5.5 million, it's close. It's 5.3 million. It's 5,360,272.31 pence. The 31 pence. I'm guessing that number is due to some type of calculation, right? I mean, they would have just said 5 million or something, but I'm guessing it's either how much Saracens overpaid, like how much Saracens were over the limit, and then maybe they did a calculation. Who knows? I wish we knew the calculation, but they haven't really given us too much detail. But anyway. And they've also said there'll be a deduction of 35 league points. They said blah, 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 blah. And they also said that it doesn't affect any of the previous seasons. So that was like the initial statement. And then we have, obviously, the statement on the, what was it, the 17th? Was it? Did I say the 17th? No, the 18th, on the Monday, Saracens brought out a statement called Our Statement on behalf of Nigel Ray. Now, the statement which Saracens spoke about on the day of the announcement that Saracens were going to receive a fine and a point deduction, Nigel Ray actually did a video, and I think to recap the main parts of Nigel Ray, say, like, doing this or what happened, was he was saying that Saracens didn't exceed the salary cap. For say. He was saying that Saracens forgot to disclose certain payments, which therefore led to the Premiership thinking, well, if you're not disclosing the payments for these players, then I'm guessing that you got something to hide. And I think that's basically what happened. So Saracens have now hired a new director, they've hired a new team to make sure this never happens again. Nigel Ray has said that, yes, he does have investments with other players, and I believe Nigel Ray has investments with Owen Farrell, Richard Wigglesworth, Maro Itoje, Billy and Mako Villapola, and you can actually see their companies on Companies House, which is pretty interesting. Anyway, so those companies involved were like investments, and what Nigel Ray did admit, and I understand and I think is true, you guys may disagree, but investing in something, I invest in shares, right? If I were to give you £100,000 in investment, it doesn't mean you're going to have that £100,000. It could go to £200,000 or it could earn £50,000. With investments, it goes up and down, whereas a salary is like a static number. It's like, here you go, mate, here is £5,000 for the week. There you go. It's not going up or down unless you get a pay rise. But, and I can't understand because Nigel Ray wanted to make sure that rugby players had something after rugby. Rugby is a sport where, unless you want to be a coach or presenter, there isn't really much out there for you to be after a rugby player. So he kind of wants to make sure that they're set for life, or have an idea in terms of investing in property or investing in shares with other companies. So I kind of understand him. So that's kind of like his aspect. However, now Saracens have released a statement on the 18th. Basically just says here, like, Saracens have a statement. They've confirmed that they won't be appealing the recent ruling and all that fun stuff. And then there's a Q&A. Now, I was going to read the whole document, but I think that might be a bit like boring for you guys. So I might read the Q&A, because the Q&A kind of talks about the statement, and I think the Q&A is probably more important. So the first thing to talk about on their Q&A is, why has the club decided to not appeal against the decision? Now, before we get into this, from a Saracens fan perspective, in terms of what I think Saracens were going to appeal. But in the 2 weeks, Nigel Ray must have sought some legal advice and kind of said, like, either you have a good chance, you don't have a good chance. And I think because the Premiership are not being lenient on us, but they could have, if they wanted to, strip our titles. And I think if they did do that, then I think we would have appealed. But I'm guessing someone said to him, if you do appeal, Premiership Rugby could strip your titles. And obviously he was like, whoa. I'm happy for a season not to win as long as we keep our titles. I kind of think that was his logic, but obviously not confirmed or anything. But no, here's the Q&A. So it says, why has the club decided not to appeal against the decision? The club believes that a review or a further appeal would be costly, time-consuming, and not a very good exercise. It wouldn't be very good for the game, for the Premiership, or for this club. So therefore, we have decided not to take the appeal, and therefore take our punishment. So basically, he's kind of saying, if we do appeal, it could open up a bunch of holes and all that stuff, and it's not good for the game. Just allow it to play on, and just, I think, right, what happened? Like when we played Gloucester, we were expecting the boos, and yes, we were. There was people with like fake money and all that stuff, but I kind of feel like he just wants it over and done with, and like let our rugby do the talking. So I think that's why he's done that, but let me know what you guys think. It then says here, what does this mean for the season ahead? So the season ahead will be challenging, but Mark McCall, his coaches and players will prepare for all our games in the same focused, committed way that will always continue to be the case. We are a very tight family, and this will only make us closer. I kind of agree when, obviously, was it Billy? Yeah, Billy Villapolo, when he did that thing on Instagram, and a lot of people were going like, whoa, dude, like, what you doing, mate? And he was getting booed, etc. But to be honest, he was using that negative energy as positive energy to put a great performance on the field. And obviously the players got closer to him and all that stuff. And it's like anything, like if you're in a relationship and you have a bad falling out or you have an argument, normally it does bring you closer. Sometimes it does make you separate, but most of the time it does make you stronger if something happens and you guys try and resolve it and just overcome it. So you never know, it could be quite good for Saracens, who knows? So the next question is, does this outcome affect any of the Premiership titles? No, the sanctions do not have any impact on any trophies the team has previously won. Will the club now be forced to sell players? Now this is a big question, because everyone wants to know, how on earth can Saracens afford these players if they've reached the salary cap? And apparently, to Nigel Ray, according to him, Saracens will not have to sell any players. It says we have a budget this year, it falls under the salary cap, and has no connection whatsoever to third-party investments. Now, following on from that, there's a question here saying, is the club now in compliance with the salary cap? And the answer is yes, under PRL, so I guess Premiership Rugby law regulations, we are now in compliance. Yeah. That's how you say it. And then it says here, will it have any effect on the transfer policy? No, it doesn't. Saracens will continue to sign new players. What has the club done to make sure this never happens again? They've now introduced a robust, independent governance to manage all the financing, how players are played, to make sure we're falling under regulations. And there will also be a new director to the Saracens board to help manage the process, how we're going forward, and making sure that we are complying with the Premiership regulations. Now, the final question is what a lot of people have been asking is, will Nigel Ray hang his boots up? Will he just retire, give up? And personally, before I answer this question from the Saracens report, I don't think he will. I think he loves the club. He's been in the club for a very, very long time. I think 25 years or something. Crazy amount of time. He's done wonders to the club. I remember when Saracens were at Vicarage Road, my dad and I had to use that park in some weird car park, and then we finally built our own stadium, and there's plans to build the stadium even more and all that stuff. And personally, I hope he doesn't go. I think having this new director who joins, if that person wants to manage Saracens in terms of he'll be like the main director, like the managing director, I think that's good. And then maybe Nigel Ray steps aside and does the investments. I think that'd be pretty cool. But no, it's good to see that Saracens are actually like employing someone new. And they've got this new independence board, etc. So I think that's pretty good. Sorry guys, I had a quick phone call to make. Well, I didn't have to make it. Someone called me. But anyway, I had a quick phone call to do. And yeah, so the answer here on the board, after giving you guys like my opinion, it says here that Nigel has been involved with the club for 25 years. And his support for the club remains as strong as ever. He will ensure that the club moves forward from today in the right way as quickly as possible. So there we have, guys. Hopefully I haven't been rambling on for too long. If you're still here, fantastic. Thank you. Honestly, like, thank you for the support. Yes, I'm a Saracens fan. Yes, a lot of you guys are probably not Saracens fans, but I still appreciate that the support you guys have given me. A lot of you guys have been tweeting me on Facebook. You don't tweet on Facebook. People have been like tweeting me on Twitter and messaging me on Instagram, private DMs, and just been going like, Matt, even though you're a Saracens fan, and I mean, some people were saying like, oh, I'm a Leicester fan, you know. Well, I think one guy went to me was like, Matt, you know, I'm a Leicester fan. I'm excited for the relegation, and I kind of found it I kind of found it quite funny, yeah. It could be a relegation scrap between Saracens versus Leicester. Who knew? Oh my days. What was crazy, right, is I was planning, well, I was going to, but I saw the odds were too low. I was planning at the beginning of the season for Saracens to win the title, maybe put a couple of £100 on it. But when I saw the odds were pretty shocking, I was like, there's no point. Luckily I didn't. I mean, I would have just lost £200 that easy. But anyway, there we go, guys. Hopefully I haven't rambled on too long. Hopefully you like this type of content. If you do, please let me know. I'm really intrigued whether or not we should start doing more videos like this. Like maybe I should do like a Saracens preview. I guess because this season is very exciting. Well, it was going to be exciting for a Saracens fan, but I guess it might be exciting for all fans because will Saracens win? Will Saracens get relegated? You know, Saracens need to win this match, etc. And I'm tempted to do like a Saracens preview. So what that means is, for example, this weekend we have Ospreys, and I was, you know, maybe the next game I might do a preview where Saracens play another team. I show you the lineup, you know, my prediction, how we're going to play, what my predicted result is, etc., and all that stuff. If you guys do want to see that, I mean, I know a lot of you guys are not Saracens fans, so I don't know if it's something you guys would want to watch, but let me know. Please let me know. But anyway, guys, if you have enjoyed today's video, then be sure to massive thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, comment down below your thoughts regarding this. But anyway, guys, have a wonderful day, and as we see in my next video, adios, chaps, boom! And her goal is not in her. She's a diamond.